All right, y'all. It's Andreas Hale, senior combat sports writer for the Sporting News, and I'm here with the big man, Omos, who is getting ready to work Seth Rollins at Backlash. But Omos, first of all, how are you doing, man? Are you all right after the Brock Lesnar match at WrestleMania? Because that was a big deal, and you still sore at all?
Nah, man, I'm good, but I'm Nigerian, man, so we recover from things very quickly. So I got that, African called it African power. That's that fufu and about type of power. They get hit down, you recover rather quickly.
First and foremost, the Omosapians, man. Listen, it started off as a thing where a few people said it on social media, and it was like, this is cool. Now this thing's turned into a full-blown movement. What were your thoughts when you first saw it versus now it's like you've completely embraced this?
So I think I've always, because I'm the jokes I am, so I've always played with how different stuff that my names can be. That can rhyme me, right? Because it's pretty easy, right? And I just always found it hilarious. And then I remember during WrestleMania 37 in Tampa, we had to do a couple of cameos. And somebody had requested, give a shout out to the Omosapians. And I laughed because I was like, it's pretty hilarious. But I did it anyways because cameo. And it's to see 3 years later how that has become its own thing. Like it's taken the internet by storm. It's just such like core fans of mine. They didn't know existed until a couple, like 4 weeks ago, who are just truly hardcore Omosapians, like I like to call them. And they're just passionate and they go back for me on the internet. They're like my little legion of warriors on the internet. They have the loudest voices and they're extremely passionate about everything on Mars.
So I guess the real question is, where's the merchandise? Like, have you talked to Hunter? Like, hey, man, we got to have some shirts because these things will be flying off the rack.
It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Working on a few things. It's coming. I already had some conversations. It's coming.
Okay. We had to make sure because that's the thing. Like as wrestling fans, we love our merchandise and there's nothing more that we like than us being involved in creating something and be able to buy it. So there's money to be made with these shirts, man. Okay. All right, cool.
Sure.
Before we talk about this match with Seth Rollins at Backlash, I want to go back to WrestleMania. You and Brock Lesnar, and at first there was some people like, oh, I'm not sure about this match. And for a lot of people, it was one of the most fun matches at WrestleMania. They just truly enjoyed it. But for you, heading into that match, because I saw an interview where you said there's a few people that you want to work with before you're said and done, and Brock ended up being one of them. How was that experience working with somebody who's been a legend in this business for so long and opening up the show? Like, how was that for you?
Man, it was nothing short of amazing, man. I would never forget that moment for the rest of my life because, you and I both know, Brock is, arguably, but Brock is the biggest draw in pro wrestling today. There's nobody that draws large enough than Brock Lesnar. He's just what he is. Like he's great at what he does, and to be able to share the ring with him and to do what we did, and that moment. Like we have history now for the rest. So whenever he retires, we're going to remember that moment. He helped a young guy who was trying to figure it out in the business, and we went in and put on a great show. Because I remember coming out there, and I came out there, and coming down the aisle, and I hit the booth. I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be fire. And then once I got in there, he came in and he did the stare down. He came and he charged that man. I tossed him, and when he bum rushed me and it hit the whole place, they going crazy. And then once I tossed him, you could just feel like the emotion just like, oh, snap. It seems like Brock is about to get this work. And, just feel the energy shift, in that moment, in that 10 seconds time frame was special, man. And to be able to work with Brock, man, I'm truly blessed, man. And, to the fans, like I said, I see I'm a guy who I don't do a lot of, I ain't gonna do the fingers like that, Every once in a while, I'm like, come out, But I see everything that's said about me on the internet. I'm fully aware of everything that's said about me, Sometimes I want to troll because, I know how to troll on the internet, but I'm just like, it's not really worth my time and my energy to spend on an individual who doesn't really know about the business. But, if they're here or there, so I'm just gonna hold it back. But other than that, I use it as motivation to bend in the ring and continue to get better and to make sure that I put on very entertaining matches. And there's I might not be the greatest worker or, have the style that the IWC might like.
Oh
But one
God.
thing you say about it is every match I've been in has been freaking entertaining. That's when me and AJ Styles, me and AJ had our run. That's when me and Bobby had our run last year from in Dallas. So we did we did Dallas and we worked for 3 months to the cage match. And then when I worked Braun Strowman in Saudi, and it's working Brock Lesnar. One thing I can say is any match that I'm in it is always very entertaining. And I think as performers, our number one job is to entertain people.
Yeah, I mean,
so as long as they entertain, that matters.
I've always like to ask this question, man. Were you aware how long that ramp was for WrestleMania? Because that looked like you had to walk like a football field to get to the ring that night.
It was. I remember. I didn't get to walk it, but I remember coming down, just during rehearsals earlier that day and seeing like the set piece, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, this is the largest set I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, this thing is humongous. And just to walk down and how they had it set, like, I've never seen anything being built since I've been in this company where, like, and that typically, WrestleMania ramps are typically long, but just the height of it and walking down, and it was just like, for such a large arena, it felt like we were on top of the arena.
Man, the thing was huge, bro. It was gigantic.
Bro.
And then the match itself, because everybody's heard about Brock's strength. Did he surprise you with his strength? Was there a moment that, like, before the match, where you're like, man, I wonder if Brock could get me up? And then the match happens, and where you like, yo, like, this is different kind of strength. Were you surprised?
No, I was saying earlier, Brock and the two strongest people I've ever been in the ring with, Brock Lesnar and Bob Lashley. I don't know what it is. I always call them, this is my nickname for them. We have Steve Rogers, and Isaiah Rashad. You have Captain America. Both Captain Americas. Like, this is insane. Like, those guys are just physical specimens, and how for such large individuals and being as athletic as they are, as powerful, it's truly a gift. Like, it's rare that you see such high level athletes like that who are not only physical specimens but can move the way they move, but very mobile and agile and extremely very, very strong. Like, those guys are, bar none, probably some of the strongest individuals I've been in the ring with. And their strength truly, truly surprises me.
Man, I want to talk about, you've been with the company for a few years and you've been around some great talent. Obviously, AJ Styles when you first came in, but working with MVP. MVP is like the triple OG. What has that been like? Gleaning information off of this man and being able to have conversations with him. And then in social media, because he's always making fun of Shelton Benjamin. Like, he looks like he's having a good time. Like, but what has it been like to be around that man? Because he's truly like wrestling royalty these days.
Nah, he is, man. It's been amazing to work with someone such as MVP, someone who, like you said, it's triple OG. That's what he is, to get it, share the ring with him and to get to pick his brain about the business, both on the business side and the performance side, and just, learn how to maneuver as a youngster in his business, I've been truly, truly blessed to have someone like him in my life, and just not just him, AJ, everyone I've worked with, man. I always say I call it I've been to the Harvard School of Wrestling because of the individual I've been paired with.
Have you gotten over to the point where, I don't know if you still do this, but maybe at WrestleMania or maybe in a match, you sometimes look around and go, man, what? I can't believe I'm here. Do you have that moment, or now you're just like, no, I'm good. I'm here?
When I first come out, yes. Once I get in that ring, it's done. And I think this year specifically, my nerves hit, right? And this year was the first time when I was in that ring. And once I got into that ring and everything took my cowl off, everything, it just became silent. I could sit film. It was like, nah, I'm here now. I finally got it. Feel like, okay, we here now. Let's do some work, right? I wasn't too overwhelmed by the audience. While, walking down, I was like, wow, this is a lot of people. This is a lot, because this is seeing people all the way up into the stands. Just look all the way up to see people. But now it's to the point where, like, yes, I'm still in awe, but I think I've learned how to manage that where it doesn't overwhelm me so much.
Let's talk about Backlash. And I know you said, sometimes you get Twitter fingers, but you've seen the response when it was announced that you were working Seth Rollins at Backlash. And some people, when you saw that, did you understand? Did you understand what they were saying? Or were you like, come on, just come along for the ride and you'll understand later?
For me, it's just like, okay, you guys want different matches. Granted, I've been in this storyline building up to this is just a match for Backlash, right? An attraction match. And I get that, right? But then the day gets what's entertained, right? And I just feel like sometimes it's become a thing of once somebody starts complaining, everybody jumps on the bandwagon, right? They don't truly have a reason why they're complaining. They just say that someone is complaining about something, so they're going to hop on that. It's almost like the monkey see, monkey do mentality, a lot of it, right? And it becomes this huge pile on, then it becomes, oh, wow, I didn't think it was going to be that good. It was entertaining. I'm like, well, if it gives give it a chance, and it's going to be what it is, and just enjoyed it, right? Maybe they have a different perspective. And I think sometimes that rubs them off truly enjoying a great match. Because you never know. This could be something that starts sharing. It could be something that builds for the next 6 months. You just never know. This could just be the starting point. But at first, you have to before you crap on something, you have to give something a shot. And I feel like these days you crap on something, right? Then when it's good, you have to go back and try and renege our statement. It's already too late because you ain't crapped on it. You didn't give yourself. I'm not saying you got to say, oh, this could be the greatest match of all time. But how about just have fun and just enjoy it? It ain't hard.
Just enjoy it. Speaking of things that got kind of crapped on, they revealed the new WWE World Heavyweight title. And we saw there was a mixed reaction on social media about this new title. Now, obviously, I know you want to get your hands on it. But when you hear people say that this is the title for people that couldn't beat Roman Reigns, when you hear that, is it funny to you? Or are you just like, guys, once again, chill out, let this thing, because Roman's only here part-time, give it a chance?
My thoughts exactly. They should have just give it a chance. You guys wanted something for guys to fight for. The company heard you guys, and now they created something that guys can fight for. On the I don't know whatever brand is going to be on, but something they can truly fight for and compete for that's going to be high stakes, right? So give it a chance for cap on it.
How do you want that? How bad do you want that title?
Oh, I want it very bad. I want it very, very bad. But it's a beautiful belt, man. It's a beautiful, it's a beautiful belt. A beautiful title, man. I love to put that thing on my shoulder, take it back home to Nigeria, get the Warriors chant, parade, the whole 9 yards. It's on top of my list.
Bro, you just made that just gave me chills. Just thinking of the idea of you going home with that title and raising it up back in the home country. Man, all right, we got the Omosapians got to get behind this now. We got to start the movement to put the title on Omos.
Yes, sir. I do, man. Come on. Yup. I already saw the rented images of me with the belt on my waist and all the whole night. I'm like, yeah, come on, let's get it going. I love it.
Do you think they make a belt that'll fit around your waist, or are you gonna have to carry the thing over your shoulder?
I think carry it over my shoulder. That's what I had to do with the when we were tag team champions. I had to put the title over my shoulders.
Okay, couple more for you. One, fantasy match. I know you're getting to work like fantasy matches now. Brock, you're working Seth, which is an incredible match. Past, present, future. If you could work anybody, wrestle anybody in the history of this business, who would it be and why?
2 people. Number one, be Undertaker. I'll love to wrestle the Undertaker because someone who's a giant, nonetheless, but the way he moved and everything that he did and my athletic prowess, I think that does bring magic in the ring. Just he'd be able to do things that he couldn't do with other giants because of their limitations, which I don't have, right? We were able to tell an amazing story. I think about that match. Even that season from time to time, like, hey, brother, and I'm going to bring you back, right, for one more. And he was just disgusting, man, laughing at me. But he's someone, I would have truly, truly loved to wrestle because he's the Undertaker, man. I didn't even know how to put into words how great of a performer he is. He's such a great performer. He understands the business. And he truly gets it, the essence of what we're trying to do with his storytelling. And I think the second person out of all the rest will probably have been Andre the Giant. Mm-hmm.
That's big, literally.
Yeah, that's very big.
That's a big ass match, bro.
Super humans, and I'm talking about Andre. I'm talking about like young, athletic Andre.
Man,
Andre that can move, that can do everything, and he and I just going at it. Yes, that Andre.
We're gonna have to make a graphic for that one because that's visually that's astounding. My last question, man. I don't know, like if you've been paying attention, again, pay attention to social media, and everybody wants the Hurt Business back, and they want you to be a part of it. They want this faction because that faction, it was special. When you see that, what are your immediate thoughts of putting the band back together and then you also being involved? And if it were to happen, does it give the Bloodline a run for the money?
So that's beyond my what's the word I'm looking for? That's beyond my expertise. That's beyond, where my hands can reach. I'm a giant man. So of course, if it's being brought back, I think, it'll be, I don't think, as a thing where I'll be truly be part of it, because I'm also have my own thing going to have things I want to accomplish. I might have some affiliations with them. Due to the fact that NDP manages both of us. And I think they could I know they would give the Bloodline a run for their money.
I think so too. I think we want to see that. I think the world wants to see that. So the Omosapians, they want you with the title, and they want the Hurt Business to give the Bloodline hell. So I think those are things that if enough of us get behind this, we can make it a reality. At least one of them.
Hey, man, you guys put it out there. Just never know, your dream might come true.
All right, perfect. Well, Omos, man, I appreciate the time. Good luck in Puerto Rico. It seems like you'll have a blast out there, even outside of wrestling.
I'll have a blast.
Puerto Rico is beautiful, so enjoy that. And then hopefully we get a chance to talk again, my man. I really appreciate the time.
Yes, sir. The honor is all mine. Thank you so much.
No doubt. You guys, you take it easy.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Andreas.